Hey everyone, this is Joe with Southeastern Frontiers, and today I am hiking to Fall Creek Falls in the Sipsey Wilderness. I'm hiking with Jacob, and today, there's Jacob, and today we are doing a super short one-night backpacking trip. I was just wanting to get out into the woods and spend a night, and so this is a very short trail. It's only about 1.5 miles at most, and so very easy. It does involve a creek crossing, but it's an easy one. So that's what we're up to. In this video, Jacob and I do a very short backpacking trip in the Sipsey Wilderness of North Alabama. We hiked in only about 1.5 miles to Fall Creek Falls and camped above the waterfall. We started at the Sipsey Recreation Area parking lot off Cranal Road, only a short distance off of State Highway 33. We began by hiking about half a mile up the Trail 200, the Borden Creek Trail, until we reached the intersection with Trail 209, the Sipsey Fork Trail. Here we forded the Borden Creek and followed Trail 209 until we reached Fall Creek Falls. We climbed up the slope to the top of the falls where there's a favorite large flat campsite that we had all to ourselves. It was warm and we didn't start a fire, but we enjoyed the natural fireworks of the fireflies and the stars shining through the treetops above. Here we are at the Sipsey Recreation Area parking lot. This is where we're starting out. We're going to head off that way and go under the road bridge back there. It is a $5 fee to park here, so we paid that, and off we're going. All right, we are entering the Sipsey Wilderness. Just under the bridge. Yeah, it's quite the edge. This is Trail 200, also known as the Borden Creek Trail. Nice rock overhang here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're almost to our turnoff point. There will be a sign, I think, when we get here. All right, the sign says we have come to the junction with Trail 209. So 209 runs along the Sipsey Fork. It'll take you all the way up to the past the where the big tree is, and to the rapids of the Sipsey and the Eye of the Needle. So 200 is going crosswise here, so we've been coming up on. We're going to go over the trail here and cross the creek and pick up 209 on the other side. All right, there's the Sipsey Fork of the Black Warrior River. There's Jacob out playing in the water. And this little branch coming in on the side here is the Borden Creek. You can see upstream. It's pretty dry, mostly sand. And there's a little ladder over there. That's where we cross. All right, we got our shoes back on, and we're going to say goodbye to the Borden Creek here and start following the Sipsey Fork. Down Trail 209. All right, we have come to a potential campsite for tonight. We're going to look around a little bit, but I think the odds are good that we'll use the fire ring here and stuff. I'm gonna go over here and take a look at the falls. This is Fall Creek Falls. Very nice. All right, here I am at the very top of the falls. The falls are right down here. Right over the edge, see? That's where we were just a minute ago. We found a better campsite, at least for tonight, and for what we have up here on the top, so that's where we're gonna stay. So this little open area above the falls is where we're going to set up tonight. Very nice. There's water close by. It's pretty flat. Nice. Sandstone doesn't make a very good hammer.
Yeah, because it turns to sand.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Jacob is going to practice tonight with a new ultralight setup that he's wanting to give a try in what should be safe and dry weather. But yes, so he's got a piece of Tyvek down there as a waterproof layer to lay on, and then he's got a simple tent tarp over the top here, and he's just gonna lay on the Tyvek, put his sleeping gear right down there. So he's going to give it a try tonight and see how it goes. Morning, everyone. It is day 2, and we are getting up and about this morning. It was a beautiful night last night, clear skies and stars. I didn't film much last evening. We didn't start a fire. It was too hot. It's now nice and cool, but last night it was too hot. So we sat in the dark after cooking our supper, and we just watched the fireflies, which were gorgeous. So it was a great night. I wanted to add that I was unable to record the fireflies. I tried both of my cameras and it was too dark and they wouldn't pick up the fireflies, but they were amazing and unlike anything I've ever seen before. So unlike the fireflies around our house here that are kind of a greenish yellow color and they kind of light randomly, these fireflies had a very white color and they flashed quickly and they all synchronized. So once it was good and dark and there were lots of them in the sky, the entire forest was flashing in synchrony. It was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. Since getting home, I've found a video that I'll put a link to up here and I'll also put down in the description where they used a really good quality low light camera and were able to video those fireflies to give you an idea of what we were witnessing. It was amazing. All right, I wanted to give a clearer view of Jacob's setup here for his shelter this morning. So I showed last night the Tyvek under there. This shows his sleeping bag on top of that. And then he has a bug net that ties up to the tent here and is strung out and is anchored down on the other end by stakes. So it's an extremely lightweight tent that way. Very cool. If it was bad weather, he could lower it closer to the ground or even put one end almost to the ground. So, very cool. Hot. Need an ice cube.
It's boiling. It's too hot for me.
Yep. It's got to sit a little bit.
It's a good waterfall too.
Mm-hmm. It is very nice. Yeah, I figured how low the creek was, there'd be no water here, but it's nice.
Here.
Let me turn the fire down a little. Let's see if I can do this without burning myself. Usually I should set it on the ground to be safe, but
you can put it back on.
okay.
Because I'm making my second one.
All right. I love this long spork for this reason.
Yeah.
It's especially for stirring the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Well worth it. There we go. Let's sit that down for a while. Yummy.
With my setup, I don't have a striker, so I have to do with flint and steel. So I'm like hesitant to turn it off.
Yeah.
Not that it's hard to start it with flint and steel.
Wouldn't you just have a little lighter?
I do have a lighter now,
okay.
but I mean like past. Yeah, now I have a lighter.
Yeah. So then, yeah, you wouldn't want to turn it off because it's a pain.
I feel like one thing we almost haven't explored enough as far as backpacking is I see so many people that just bring like stuff out, like some maybe some cooking stuff, whether it's like some fruits and vegetables, and they just like cook on their back, like the people that backpack all the time, because obviously you can't buy these meals all the time,
right?
And a lot of those people don't want to go through the hassle of like having to prep dried food and stuff, and you probably get sick of dried food too.
Yeah,
honest,
you do.
Fast.
That's right. But you know, fresh food's difficult to deal with too. You got to keep it clean and got to cut it up somehow while keeping it clean.
Yeah, I see people that have little cutting boards.
Yeah, I've seen those two really little ones. Yep. Well, the raisins I'm not a big fan of in this, but the cranberries are nice.
Yeah. See, what I find is you would think an oatmeal just cranberries is better, but it's too much. So you need the kind of blah raisin taste to even out the cranberry sourness.
The sourness, yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking, you know, this cereal, this maple and brown sugar is pretty sweet, so I don't need the raisins for that.
Probably true. Like when I have blank oatmeal.
Yeah. Yeah, for plain oatmeal, I can see that.
You need them for like the extra sugar.
The raisins are sweetness and the cranberries are tartness.
Yeah.
My tent is much more fragile, right? And I'm always worried I'm going to puncture a hole in it. But I haven't yet, other than I had a spark from a fire when we were doing the big tree loop back in February. Landed on top of it and made a hole through it.
Really?
But I have little patches tape, the patch tape, so I just patch tape the hole just to keep the mosquitoes from going through it.
I honestly kind of believe if there wasn't good coffee like this, I wouldn't bring a whole coffee setup on the way. I just drink tea.
Yeah.
Because tea's good.
Yep.
Like it's just, in my opinion, just slightly worse than coffee.
Like a Northern Tier, I had tea. John and I had tea all the time.
And I watch people that do really lightweight. They're like, I drink tea because I can use the same bag for 4 days in a row. So you only need 2 tea bags for a week trip.
Well, you only, yes, if you get down to what you need, he's not wrong. It will still flavor water. It'll be different every time.
Yeah. Do you need this?
No, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna have any more.
Okay. An easy way to cool a drink down faster is to pour it from higher.
Yes, you get air mixed in it. Yep. One thing I dislike about the those instant mochas, it leaves my bowl a bit of a mess.
Oh yeah, you kind of have to rinse it out.
Yeah, it doesn't really dissolve super well.
Whereas the coffees are like
Right,
this.
they're completely dissolved. Yeah, the Alpen starts are really nice. All right, we are all packed up and we are heading out. So got all our trash picked up and heading back down the trail. So off we go. All right, we are steeply descending down to the bottom of the falls here. It's the route we took is pretty steep. There is a route that's not as steep, but not as direct. So this is the way we're going. This is the backside of Fall Creek Falls. It's a beautiful setting here. Very nice. There's the Sipsey Fork this morning, where the water from the Fall Creek Falls is running into it. Beautiful. We found here a quite big tree. There are many large trees in the Sipsey wilderness. Of course, famously, there's the big tree, which this is not, but this is a pretty big tree. It's dead. It doesn't look like it's alive anymore.
Or barely. I see a few branches up there.
But it's pretty big. Very cool.
I was just looking around here for the bush and how many different things there are. Different plants.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yes, incredible biodiversity here.
Fern tree or a fern.
A fern, yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a spot along the Borden Creek on the west side where you go up there, where you go around a big bend in the creek.
Yeah.
And the plant life there is dominated by ferns. I call it the place where the ferns grow because it's pretty amazing. There's so many, just thick. Must be the perfect climate for them there.
Yeah. You know, they don't look anything, But they must be some tough plants.
They're survivors, aren't they?
Yeah.
A very nice pine tree here we stumbled onto. This is right by the junction of the Borden Creek and the Sipsey Creek. It's in the Sipsey Fork. But very nice. As Jacob just said a little bit ago, it's probably survived a fire or two over the years.
If you'll notice, we've been walking through brush, and right around us there's a whole lot less.
Yep. Yeah, the pine tree tends to keep other plants beat down. Yep.
You can see all the pine.
Yeah, the pine needles everywhere. Yeah, that poisons the ground for other plants. But that's a nice specimen there. Very nice. I'm surprised this one survived the logging, or else it's new since they logged it off. But it's pretty big.
It's taller than all the other trees.
Yeah, it's very tall. We are about back to our water crossing.
I believe that it's actually right here.
Yeah, it's right here. Borden Creek is nearly dried up. There's Borden Creek off that way. And the trail on this side of Borden Creek is the West Borden Creek Trail. It's not near as heavily traveled as the nice one across the way, Trail 200. But we're going to go down here and cross the creek. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a fun place to sit and eat lunch.
Yeah.
Did you know that there are river otters out here?
Huh.
Yeah, I've never seen them, but I've seen lots of pictures of them. So there are river otters out here in this in the Sipsey Wilderness.
This is like
The deep spot,
but like
but not very.
if you come down here, I don't know if you can get down
Look how
here.
deep the sand is.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's warmer for some reason at the bottom down here.
Huh, that is weird.
Or
And maybe it's just because it insulates your feet from the flowing water.
could be.
Fun to play in the water.
Yep.
Lots of critters have been moving along here. See the tracks?
Yeah.
All right, we sat on a log up here right on Trail 200, put our shoes back on. The crossing is right down there. And we are gonna head back down to the car, which is only maybe a quarter mile away, something like that. Not very far. Well, there's not much water, but it falls from pretty high up. So there have been times I've been here when you couldn't stand here because so much water was falling on this rock and spraying everywhere. But today it's just a few drops. It's a big overhang though. Right before we get to the bridge and back to the parking area, we passed the Sipsey Wilderness Dedication Monument here. It says dedicated May 17th, 1975. Very cool. So it's right along the trail, just before the bridge.
So we're
Literally just before. You can see the post of the bridge back there, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we are back to the parking area and back to the car. It was a beautiful one-night trip. Just can't beat it. It's starting to warm up now, so it's time for us to get going. Thanks for coming along.